with God at the core, journaling dreams and discovering more stories.
Hello, my creatively faithful friends. This is Teresa with Fresh and Renewed with Teresa. I'm not going to apologize, but because I've been trying, but as you know, I have to go day by day to make sure that I have the energy to do things, and I've tried every day this week. So anyhow, this is my new faith planner. I will have the file linked in the Buy Me a Coffee shop for you. And I made some changes, so I want to definitely go over those changes. And then I'll tell you something when I get to a big change in this one. I'll tell you something about that. So we have a fall theme going on. We have God, all things are possible. This is the October cover. Then I have this planner belongs to, and the file in the Buy Me a Coffee shop is blank. So you can put your own name there. So I have that. And then our scripture themes for this quarter is October is Seeking God, November is Thankfulness for, and December is A Journey to Bethlehem. And then I have my dividers that I have. They are linked in my Amazon store. And then I do have a scripture page that goes right here, that on the back of it is the scripture for October. Is the scripture writing plan for October. But somehow it got kind of mixed up in my friend's planner that we do our physical planners together, and it got mixed up in hers, and she said she'd get it to me, and we haven't seen each other. So then we have Hello October. We have the October calendar. This is where I do my gratitude. I did not do yesterday's yet. And then I started just a couple of months ago writing out a gratitude scripture right here, but I haven't done that yet either. And then this is the digitally decorated version. Now, I am going to tell you, last month I provided in Buy Me a Coffee, I provided the digitally decorated version, and I provided a blank version in case you wanted to decorate it yourself. I completely forgot when I was designing this one. I completely forgot to save it as a decorated version, as an undecorated version. And during that time, I was already having too many health challenges. So I'm unable to provide that this time. So if you want an undecorated version, I apologize. So you'll just have to take the decorated version this month, this quarter, or this, if you want this. Okay. Then we have all the weeks of October for our scripture writing. And then we go to our devotion section. And this is where I made a change. We have, and without faith, it is impossible to please him. For whoever would draw near to God must believe that he exists and that he rewards those who seek him. And that's Hebrews 11, verse 6. And then we have a prayer list, and we have the daily devotionals, and daily devotionals. And no, I did not do yesterday's because I was a day behind. I did this yesterday morning. I did not do yesterday's. I had a long day yesterday at a doctor's appointment, and then we took a little outing. So, but here's where I changed something. I normally in the daily devotional sections had the prayer list the prayer list first, and then I had 7 daily devotionals. Well, I took out 1 daily devotional because I was wasting a piece of paper, because I do not ever do a daily devotional on Sunday. We go to church, and if we don't go to church, we'll watch an online sermon, or we'll have a devotional together. So it was wasting paper for me. So I pared that down to 6 days for the daily devotionals. So we have enough of these for the 5 weeks in October. And then I still have the monthly devotional reflection. And then we go to the worship, and this is where we have the biggest change of the planner. And this is going to maybe stay like this. I don't know. I don't know what I'm going to do, but I may change it up even further. So this is the worship section, and it says, "O God, you are my God. I shall seek you earnestly. My soul thirsts for you. My flesh yearns for you. In a dry and weary land, there is no water." Psalm 63, verse 1. And I have the verses to memorize. I did not do that yet this week. But what I do plan to do here is my church has several verses for our church, kind of like mission statement, and I don't know what they're called, but we have several mantras that we follow. I don't know if that's the right word, but on all of them, there's several scriptures to go with each. Like our main mission statement of our church is making much of Jesus. And then there are several scriptures that follow that. That's what I plan to do here, is to write out those scriptures, because I don't memorize scriptures very well. So I don't plan to use those to memorize, but I love writing out scriptures. So that's what I plan to do here. Now, here was the most major change. I have not wanted to take this big book to, well, this one's not so big. You'll find that out why in just a minute. I have not wanted to take this, big 3-month binder normally, to church with me. My goal was to, because I have another notebook that I take sermon notes in. And my goal was to take those sermon notes. It's hard to write when you have a book in your lap, you have a Bible in your lap. It's just hard to write and hard to make it, look pretty. So my goal was that I was going to take the sermon notes at church and then come home and write them in the planner. Well, you know what? I was finding week after week after week, I was not doing that. So I was just wasting paper getting these planners printed. I have a whole stack of sermon notes that I have not used, that I took out of, past planners this year and last year some. So I have changed that up, and I only am going to have the song from the service here. I do like writing out lyrics. And I was finding that I wasn't doing that because I wasn't doing the sermon notes. I think that I would be more likely to come home and do this rather than do the sermon notes and this. So we're going to see how this goes. So I'm sorry for that change, but that's what's best for me. And since I provide this over at Buy Me a Coffee for you at no cost, I have to do what is going to work for me. So that's what I did. And so you have 5 weeks for that. And then you still have a monthly reflection where you can take from your favorite scripture, key points you learn, the application. You can still apply your sermon notes here on the monthly reflection. If you're like me, I have a notebook that I do take sermon notes in, and I could just bring that in here with me and, to fill this out. And then this is the one for the next month. It says, for November, let the word of Christ dwell in you richly, teaching and admonishing one another in all wisdom, singing psalms and hymns and spiritual songs with thankfulness in your hearts to God. And that's Colossians 3:16. And then we have 2 blank pages here because that's how it kind of worked out. I could have had, oh no, you know what? I had an extra sheet in here. That's the deal. This is supposed to be on the back of this. And I had an extra one of these in the file, so it printed it separately. So in November, so this is what October's will look like on the back of that scripture page when I get it from my friend Sue. So it will be on the back of that, whatever that page is that has the scripture. And this is the November one. I already went ahead and did that. So it wouldn't be late, but it's already done. So if you don't utilize the planner, I will have these uploaded separately. So November, we will read and write scriptures about being thankful for. And I looked up all kinds of scriptures that applied to the word thankful and grateful. So that's what we'll use. Then we have Hello November, our November calendar. Aren't these colors just gorgeous? That is why I get them printed at my local printer. Again, the local printer, not pushing them or anything. I don't get anything, from you doing this, but they have said that they would, print people that call them. So all of the information for my local printer that does this will be in the description box down below. Now it probably would be more heavier cost than a larger cost than I do, because I take my own paper to them and then I bring it home and I cut it and, no, I don't cut it. I punch it and then put it in my planner. The file is designed at 7 by 9 1/4 to fit this size, classic size planner. So if you desire, you can contact them. The lady's name that I work with all the time, her name is Demi. So her contact information is down below. You can just ask to speak to her. And they can give you a quote as to what it would be. And they also do a spiral binding. So you could even, if you don't want to have it shipped to you and punch it and everything, if you want it to already come bound, you could do a spiral binding. So there, and these colors, there is no way that my home printer could print these types of colors. So that's why I do it, because, I want it to look pretty. And they're close enough to where I can provide my own paper. This is 32-pound premium paper, HP premium paper and I get it from Amazon. It is linked in my Amazon store. The heaviest weight paper they have is 28-pound paper, and it's an okay paper. I prefer this one, but that one would work as well. I love this page with this girl looking out the window with the bird. There was no way I could make the bird look like it was behind the window, but I really like that. And then we have, this is the last week of November for scripture writing. And then we have this for our daily devotionals. Through him, then let us continually offer up a sacrifice of praise to God, that is the fruit of lips that acknowledge his name. And that's Hebrews 13, verse 15. And then we have the prayer list, and then the daily devotionals. Still, I kept with the 6 per week, and you have 4 weeks there because there's 4 weeks in November. And then your monthly reflection. And then this is our worship section. That my glory may sing your praise and not be silent. O Lord my God, I will give thanks to you forever. And that is Psalm 30, verse 12. And then we have our verses to memorize. And then again, our songs from each service. And we have 4 weeks of those. And then I think I may have skipped this. And then, oh no, I didn't. And then we have our monthly reflection for the worship. Okay, and then the planner ends here. Normally, it is a 3-month planner. That's how I've done it every other time I've done it. But I want to tell you why I only did a 2-month planner this time. Because last year, when I did Time for Advent and Tea, last year I had my devotional book that I had, and I had my planner to write scriptures for December. And I just could not keep up, especially last year when I was, I had some surgery in the month of December, and I just couldn't keep up. So I decided, and my husband and I do devotions every single day. So I decided that I would just not put the devotions, my scripture writing, in my planner, and I would just stick and continue what I am doing or what I started last year. And I bought a whole bunch of devotional books last year to decide what devotional book I wanted to use for the month. And this was one of them I purchased. And yes, it says 2024 Christmas Devotional for Family, but it's still applicable. And so I'm going to use this one this year. And I will, go ahead and I will read the introduction when I introduce it. Probably, maybe when I come on and show you this, which I'll show you this in a minute. When I come on and I show you what I have prepared, I will read this and we'll get ready. And then it has a devotion for each day, 24 devotions. Well, I don't know. Let's see how many devotions it has. If it has 24, 25, 31. Oh, it has 31. So we'll go all the way through the end of the month. Okay, so, and I called it Journey to Bethlehem. That's not the name of it, but I called it Journey to Bethlehem. That's what we're going to focus on. So, and I'm not paying attention to what the day says. And also, some of these are like activities that you can do with your family. I may turn them around. Like, let's look at this one. For day 1, share with your family one thing you're hopeful for this Christmas season. So I would share with you when I do this day's video, something I'm hopeful for this Christmas season. And then you could share in the comments with me something you're hopeful for this Christmas season. So that's what I'm doing. This is the one I did last year. I never did the cover page or my name in it, which I will do this year. And then this was 25 days of Christmas, time for Advent and Tea. And I just decorated that. And then I had, I did a page for each, the scripture. And then I did the response. I wrote out a prayer for each scripture for each day. And so that's what I did. I'm going to have this already decorated because last year I decorated as I went, and there were some days that it was time to get in here and film and the day wasn't decorated. This year it will be decorated completely before it's time. So I just want to kind of flip through and give you a show. So this journal is linked in my Amazon store if you want. I looked high and low for a plain red journal. I wanted it to be red because I wanted it to be Christmas. This was a Live Love Posh sticker that I got in their Christmas planner collection last year because I really wanted that Christmas planner. So, which is what I'll be using for my catch-all planner this year. But this sticker came in that collection. So, you know, you could find you a nice, pretty Christmas sticker and put on the front because it's blank on the front of it. And so then I do plan to have this completely decorated before it is time to get started. I pulled out all my Christmas washi tape. I pulled out, you know, lots of Christmas stuff to do this with. And I'm kind of obsessed with Christmas, so I have a lot of Christmas stuff. Stickers, planners. 18. Why did I don't know. Did I? Huh. I skipped a page, I think, and so I had to glue 2 pages together. So I love how this turned out. And then I did the 23rd, and then I fizzled out. But this year I will not fizzle out. I do not plan to fizzle out. So what I plan to do is just turn the page right here and do my, this is my 2025 like cover page, like this. And I don't think I'm going to call it Time for Advent and Tea this year because there are some days that I may have coffee because I have a whole bunch of coffee, Christmas coffee flavors for my Keurig. And I may not just do Time for Advent and Tea, but I have a lot of tea as well. So I'm just going to do, you know, whatever beverage that I'm drinking that day, I will let you know. And I'm going to call it A Journey to Bethlehem. And I wish that I could use this page. Maybe I can. Maybe I can pull that 25 up and then just put a flower right there if it, and then just put the title, A Journey to Bethlehem. I think that's what I'll do. Because it's a shame to let this go to waste. And then we'll start right here with 1. So we'll go 1 to 31. So that is the explanation as to why there is no December in the planner. So it has, so the file will have October and November. And then those are the changes. This is linked in my Amazon store just in case you're interested. And I will, this is still available on Amazon, so I will link this in my Amazon store. Both of these were very, very affordable. I will link this in my Amazon store too, just in case you want to, you know, to follow along and have it for yourself. So thank you so much for watching. And I truly, truly appreciate you, appreciate all of your support. Continue to keep me in your prayers. My doctor's visit yesterday, he's going to try a medication change for 2 weeks prior to doing anything invasive. And so, you know, that's what's going to happen. So thank you so much for watching, and I will catch you in the next video. Bye.
Scriptures written with care.